What's up, guys? Isaiah from Games, and this is episode 68 of our Gaimoria Dev stream. Feeling a little out of it today. Allergies are destroying me. I woke up in the middle of the night suffocating because my head and sinuses were completely locked up. But I'm gonna try and stick it out today, at least as long as I can, but I'm just continuing to work on this, and so I just might not be very peppy this episode, but I figured I'd at least show something. Also making me very tired. I think it's a bit with the weather changing, and then we've also had an army of people with weed whackers going around. Just can hear like 5 of them all yesterday and today, just going crazy, and I don't know, mowing down the grass forest somewhere around here. It's affecting me a lot. So yeah, anyways, enough bitching. I'm gonna work, and you guys could watch. My Twitter is not posting for some reason. I think Twitter is broken. Internet working? Facebook is working. Yeah, Facebook works. I think it's just... oh, there we go. Alright, Twitter, do your thing. Yeah, Twitter's just going super slow right now. It's probably getting DDoS or something. Okay, so last you guys saw, I just started getting a lot of the rough stuff in, and I started getting some of these cliff pieces in, and fixing these little character animations, making sure they all worked, and applying stuff to prefabs. What I've done since then is I started doing some blockout coloring on all these, and I started bringing in the trees. What's up, Raviolio? I got your order, by the way, and just took care of it. I got it all packaged up, and I'm going to be shipping it out tonight. It's 3-day shipping, so you should get it Wednesday. But I'll show you this kind of little rough that I have so far. I've also kind of been painting in some like little pawns, and I actually think that's kind of cool. I've really liked how this is starting to turn out, this demo map. My lighting is still broken, and there's like no effort into like making it look polished, but the thing that I like about this actually feels a little bit more like open world. You can see I got like a little hidden path down here in the trees. There'll be a little hidden item right here. This feels much more open world than that other map I've been working on, just because I have really large spaces. So, you know, I have just all this open area that the player could run around, and then they'd be kind of connected by a couple bridges. And then this, again, looks very forest-like. I don't know, it's just, it feels more like what I was kind of envisioning. And then this I'm going to be turning into the beach. And the stuff I've been doing with that other map has been a little more claustrophobic in a way, like more condensed. And I don't think that's bad. I think it was a good design discovery. Because it can actually be more difficult to play in that kind of space. And I think that that kind of world design will be perfect for the forest. Because I wanted the forest to be very maze-like. Gotta close my Facebook. Twitter. So on that other map, I'll actually just load it. So here's an example, like I have this huge open circular area, so much run space, so much freedom to go like wherever. And then, you know, I'll open up. Back is hot, the sun's cooking me. Go to scenes, and then open up this other one. Press play. And I mean, you can already tell, like, it's a lot more cluttered. I can't like run in a big circle area like this, like it's, especially up here, for example. Like it's kind of narrow, and then, you know, it's narrow here. And I don't think that this is bad, it's just different, and I think what I have to do is I have to find a really nice balance between the two. So I'll have some sections that are a little bit more guided like this, and I think I kind of already did plan that it like breaks into this much larger space out here. But I mean, even still, this is like considered a large space from what I had initially done the blueprint stuff. So let's try go up here. Like this was another thing I had considered large. I won't go up there because that's story stuff. So this is like an example of what I had initially considered a wide open space for the player to run around in, and you can see that right in the center of this wide open area, there's edges visible everywhere. Top, left, bottom, right, whatever. And so it's a different type of environment feel. And for what I was envisioning with the grasslands, I was thinking it would actually be a bit more open like how I did this one. You can, again, just see how big and open the spaces are here, and then a big open space here. And the reason why I thought that it'd be good for the grasslands to be open like this is because it would allow the player a lot of freedom to move and kind of summon their pets for the first times and kind of just get a feel for how stuff is. And it'd give them a lot of like space to run away if something's chasing them. And but in those tighter spaces, you don't have a lot of space to run away, you don't have a lot of space to summon your pets. So that's kind of something I'm just gonna have to kind of mess around with as the project goes on, is getting the right kind of world design balance of how many tight spaces do we need, how many broad open spaces do we need, and then like the different zones. Like I said, I want the forest to be tight and maze-like. So the forest might be a little bit more like I did with that other one. But then like with this, you know, it's big, broad, and open, so it's nice. Still not really sure. I'm actually gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna like open the other map, take a screenshot of the brightness of an area without the lights. Then try and match it. Because again, I can't figure out what's going on with that lighting. Am I walking up? Anyways. This one. Okay, so this is with all my point lights off. I'm gonna take a screenshot of the general brightness. I vaguely remember having some kind of issue like this, and I don't know what I did to fix it. It's gonna be hard to do when it's so bright outside, when I'm trying to do like a fine-tuned lighting check. What's up, Supreme DDT and Sage 26262? How's your guys' Friday? Thank you for hosting, Supreme DDT. You can see what I'm doing right here is actually the power of why I've been doing this grid system. Because I've been painting and saving every one of my vert paint grids separately, so I can actually swap in grid pieces from my other map. These are actually from the original map, all these grasslands grid pieces, and I'm just bringing them in to check and see how they look. And then I have my humble one here. This is B2, and I can just bring it back in. It's right back to where it was. But I'm also noticing like a little bit of a coloration difference here. Like the lighting is just a teeny bit more yellow. I don't know what's causing that. I can tell it's like slightly more green. I don't have any kind of post effects. It's the exact same shader. just have some weird coloration discrepancy between my two scenes. I have no idea why it's doing that. My water, there's a very noticeable yellow tint in this scene. I have no idea what's causing that yellow tint. Making pizza, yummy. Ah, that's it. What the? I don't even know why the hell this is active. Ambient lighting? I mean, I understand, like, why it's in there, but I have to go in here and, like, figure out. How do I just want to disable this environment lighting completely. Ambient intensity 0? Well, I need some ambient intensity, apparently. I don't need light maps, I don't need, like, any of this crap. This is all for, you know, better rendering. I want... all of my scene environment lighting just be nothing and only be lit by the lights. Disable environment lighting. Okay, well, I'm just gonna make this really apparent so I know what I'm doing. This is super ugly. That's why going between scenes it was different. These values should change. Yeah, so this is an ambient color of just white of 1. So, I mean, that's fine, having ambient white of 1. I don't know why my ambient was set to, like, a dark blue. That would be why my environment light, or my master light, was probably all sorts of fucked up. I bet if I fix that, it'll make my master light behave as I wanted it to. Okay, so white 1. Okay, see, now it's still super blown out. I bet if I drop this to 0.5, bam, exactly what I needed. Alright. I figured out the problem. Yay! I'm applauding for myself. So, yeah, the problem is when I created this new scene, for some reason, instead of just having an ambient color of white and an intensity of 1, which to me is what it should be for every new scene. Okay, so I'm gonna save this scene, and then make a new scene and see what happens. And this should not change, but it might. Yeah, see? Ambient color changed to this weird color. So I wonder if I should fix my other scenes and all my lights, or if I should just change this ambient color to be white with all my new scenes. I feel like I've already got a lot of the colors how I like them in the other one. I don't want to start fucking with all the colors I tweaked and made. So I need to make myself a note. So that I know every time I make a new scene, I need to go to Windows, Lighting, Sweet. Alright, well I'm glad I finally found that out. I didn't even know that this stuff existed. And I had to have changed it at some point. Or you know what probably happened is because I was working on this project on an older version of Unity, back then they probably had their ambient lighting default to white and 1. And because we then, you know, changed this over to Unity 5, they probably changed the default for the scene ambient color to be white down to that dark blue. Probably to be more in line with, like, physical-based rendering and other sorts of other 3D renderings that they're doing. Which makes sense, because Unity is, I think, more primarily focusing on 3D stuff, and the 2D stuff is kind of just like, you know, their bastard child or something. So my assumption is, in Unity 4, it was ambient color white, intensity 1. And then since I didn't really make any new scenes after we had converted to Unity 5, the Unity 5's new default ambient color is that dark blue, so that's the answer to why it was broken. Alright, so now back on track. Correct colors, lighting looks exactly how I want it to. So now I can go around and like place my own custom lighting. It's bright and green and happy. Now I can revert this to the prefab. Don't mess with any of the settings. Because you want to have a consistent main light source here. Unless you like go into hell and you want to have like a red light or something. I don't know, whatever you want to do. It affects the terrain different than it does the props. Alright, so now, I was actually just gonna paint in some basic pathways. Just to kind of get the stuff in there. My bigger problem is I need to figure out, like... Can't remember how I did it, but there's a way where I could just delete these extra quads, and I don't remember how I did it. I had like a plugin or something, but I want to be able to delete these extra quads so then I can have like background art back here. Like the big cliffs, and I want to have the horizon and the beaches and all that. Well, maybe since I'm in a figuring stuff out, maybe I'll be lucky and I'll figure it out again. I have this tool called like Mesh Editor. I was supposed to be able to just like select things and delete it. I should just be able to delete these faces. Aha! I figured that out too. Man, I'm on a fucking roll today. I feel good about myself. That's another thing I was like messing around with forever, because this window's a little funky. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Alright, so yeah. That's a tool I got like a year and a half ago, and I used it once. And I was like, great, this will come in handy in the future, and then I never used it, and then once I started making that other environment, and I finally got to the point where I was getting really nitpicky about, okay, where do I want water, where do I want land? Then I was like, oh yeah, I have this tool, and I should be able to just... That's perfect. So now I have this chunk of land, and I'll be able to put in like a really pretty background. What's even cooler is if we can do some kind of like parallax thing where as the player runs along here, you know, and you see the background, you won't actually, or the background won't really move a whole lot. That's just like a parallax effect, makes something look like it's really far away. And then I could have different levels of parallax, so then like I could have like a mountain range that moves slower, but then the horizon doesn't move at all. So then it looks like, you know, there's actually pieces to the map in the background. So a lot of like what I did when I was at Bungie. But that all parallax happened naturally because it was in 3D, of course. And our skyboxes were massive. Alright, well today's a good day to figure out problems that I've had for a long time. So, I'm gonna just continue doing that. It's A2. Actually, I should probably hide my trees. Yeah, today's a good day to figure things out. It's always a good feeling when you've been struggling with something and then you finally figure it out. In fact, I figured out 2 things today, so I feel like a champion. Yeah, when I was at the convention back in August, I was trying to show someone this tool because I was trying to show like how I was building stuff, and I was like, yeah, so I could like select these and delete them, but I can't figure out how to delete them, and I was pressing the delete key because naturally in 3D applications you select your faces and press delete or backspace and it will delete the faces. But for this tool, it's the hotkey is Control-Alt-E. So, little strange to me. And I actually want to delete these faces here because I'm creating this like cool cliff effect. Feel so much better about myself. I think I can spin the triangles too. But if I spin the triangle, that I don't know if that'll fuck up my vert painting. If you don't, I'll show you what spinning a triangle means. I'll delete these. So I should be able to select these edges and then spin them. I go to edge. Select multiple edges. Yes. Spin them. Reverse selected triangles. Guess I can't spin the triangle. That'd be nice if I could. Unless there's like a cut tool, which probably not. So what spinning a triangle does is have this triangle here. Like this is an example of a correctly angled triangle, so I could just select this face. And select this face and then delete it. And it's good because, you know, it follows the edge of my world, but these triangles, you know, obviously don't follow it. So what I wanted to do was take this triangle, spin it so that it then follows this 45 and then delete the new face so that it looks like this and it's nice and clean. And I'll want to do it there too and here. I feel like this tool would have that. First triangle. Maybe I have to do it in face mode. No. Oh. Oh fuck. Oh god. I did something bad. Apparently you can't do undo. Okay, so the undo basically just replaced, oh, there we go. It's gotta be like a step back with this. Maybe not. Not that big of a deal. Unity tools for mesh editing are kind of funky. So the reason why it's not a huge deal is because I can put a rock or I can put a bush, cover the hole. So I'm probably just gonna do that. It's not a big deal. Move all those. These. Wait, I want to keep these. So now, pop up my map design again here. I'm going to delete one of the faces here. This is A4. And I'm going through and I have to name all of these because it's creating a new mesh and then putting them here, and I'll show you what happens if I replace the mesh. So let's do something quick. Okay, so it saved this new mesh, right? And now if I go to where my meshes are, and I put, so where's this one at? Oh, this one's way down there. So that's in Mesh Editor. So anyways, if I replace A4 with the A4 that I'd done in the first place, it should restore all those triangles I just deleted. Yep, see? Kept the vert paint because it copied all the vertex painting over to the new mesh. But that's why these are basically my base grids. And then in Mesh Editor Meshes, Humble Demo, this is where I have my edited mesh. I can drag this back in, and it goes back to the triangles that I had deleted. And then every time, in order for me to work on it, I have to click lock. And this is why I have things named, because, you know, this is A4. So I have to reselect it every time. I do not want to overwrite one of these because those are the other meshes that I've been editing. And so I always want to overwrite the correct ones. So I've been naming it, you know, Humble Demo Grid A4, and then Grid A4 edited. So lock save, and then continue to work on it. It's a perfect example here of why I would want to spin my triangles, because I have this big diagonal chunk of how I drew the world in the sketch. I want this cliff face to be. And I can't do that. I'm gonna kind of be a little conservative. With this edge. So, another good thing about this is now that I figured this out again, so you can, now that I have my sketch in here, you can see what my plan is of having the mountains and the beach down here. I'll run an eye up here too so you can see it. So, I'm envisioning there being this like, I'll turn my trees back on. I'm envisioning there being these, like a giant cliff face here, so, and then like as you get up to here you can start seeing the beach and the backdrop is really cool. And then you get like way up here and you can see the sky and the mountains and the horizon line, see more clouds out here, and you see this big dude, our monument for storytelling. And then there would be a bridge here, and then I want to have my a waterfall so it looks like we're up on a cliff, so as the player's like walking over this bridge, I'll move this tree because that kind of blocks it, but they'll be able to walk over the bridge and they'll see this like waterfall underneath them, and it'll be a kind of a cool effect. They'll be able to run like way out here and still see out to the horizon, and then here's the other cliff face. And then I want to put in some like cool waterfalls here. Let's have like a nice little pond. Come out here and this is all going to be cliffs. The hidden area out here. That's why I have a bunch of trees, and I'm going to be painting in pathways to kind of guide away from it. So if the player feels like going into these trees, you know, they might figure it out. Another thing that I like about this, the way that I have this laid out more open, is I can have my, I can have these like clusters of trees to actually feel like you're running in a forest, which is really cool. And you can kind of see her peeking in and out in the holes of the trees, and see her in the shade and the shadows. Come in through here, through the trees, to a secret area. And if the player's up here, it's hidden because I have trees here, which is, you know, I'm purposely trying to hide the path from, and see the camera edge here. Can't really see it. You can't see this space from over there. Then you can come through here, and there will be a little piece of heart. Ta-da! And also, this is a teaser. When the player's up here, like further along, they'll be able to come here and be like, oh, I missed something. So that encourages them to like go figure it out, get their piece of heart. Oh yeah, I want to have some more like waterfalls here, be really pretty. Then have this like river out here. River running underneath the bridge. Have like a dense forest out here. I'll have to like put some fizz so, you know, the player can't go out here. But I was gonna have like a secret little area that's just for enjoyment. You can come down here and hang out. Nothing in particular. I might like put something special out in the water that just kind of maybe, I don't know, looks pretty. Maybe I could put poop floating in the water. That'd be kind of funny. But just something out there. Because I want to have that in Gaimoria, like pretty little fun things out in the environment for no reason. Just makes it feel like a place in its own, like it has its own life. So if I could put like someone floating in an inner tube or something, that'd be kind of cool. Or a couple characters. Come back up here. And this is where I'll put in all my beach assets. I already changed a lot of this over to the beach shader so I can put in the sand. Like you guys have seen me do. This piece of heart's kind of easy to find. I might, like, put it down here or something. Then, yeah, and again, big, wide open space. I figured this would be good for the player to use to try and kind of learn the fight here with these different kinds of enemies. Yep. Yeah, seriously, the big thing I just discovered is because I have that mesh tool, I'll go back to my other scene, and I figured out how to use it again. I can go back to this. It's having a lot of problems of figuring out, like, a situation where I want to have really complex, cool art in the water. I gotta turn my lights back on. I want to have really cool art in the water, right? But because my ground and the water was all like one thing, it was kind of broken. So here you can see Fert Paint Water Grasslands. So I created this shader with all this cool kind of muddy stuff underneath the water, and I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to use it because, like, all these triangles, this is all part of the same ground, the land shader. It's not part of the water shader. So I'm actually just going to do this for my own sake here, just to tweak it. I need to rename all these. I'm going to rename all these real quick. Completely unorganized. A1. Oh, I have my grids all weird. A, B, C. Yeah, it's supposed to be that way. I named my grids wrong on my first thing. So this is where my whole grid's set up. Kind of part of it was inspired by and part of how we've made it in on Infamous at Sucker Punch. Supposed to be A, B, C, D, up to down, and then 1, 2, 3 left to right, but I apparently fucked that up. I got it reversed for this, but that's fine. This is supposed to be B1. Or it's supposed to be A2, but whatever. So when me and our original coder had started working on Gaimoria, I think it was 2013, so it was like 3 years ago. It was a long time ago. We just like talked about it, thought it was kind of cool. And neither of us took it all that seriously. We both, worked full time at the time. I was at Bungie. He was where he was. And yeah, it was just a side project. And we kind of like farted around with it for like 2 years, like all the way till Cherish and I had moved. And, I didn't start working on it seriously until after we moved. And even then, I was actually doing a lot of freelance work then. So a lot of my time was spent on doing freelance work. And then it really kicked into high gear once we got the Patreon launched back in March. So it's been around for a while, it just hasn't really been fully worked on until I got the Patreon launched, and then, I had a real dedication to the people that were backing us. Because we have people paying us month to month essentially to see content of how we do this, so that was when I was like, okay, this is going to be my full-time job. So did a few ideas come together and form? That's kind of like the entire thing. The whole thing was a whole bunch of ideas that are organically forming together as I work on it. Okay, so, and then the reason that I wanted to organize these was now I'm going to make a personal note to myself here just by deleting these. This is grid B2. So the reason I want to delete all these is because I have a different, as I said, I have a different shader that I'm using for the water. And because you can only have so many channels in a shader before you've exhausted all of your vertex painting channels. So I ran out of my, I have red, green, blue, white, and black. And that's like all your vertex painting channels. And because I exhausted all those on the ground, it was like, okay, now I'm just gonna have super ugly, flat blue water. Which I don't want. I want to have nice, pretty water with cool stuff happening in it. So what this is gonna let me do is I can delete all these, and then I can make a new grid piece underneath. And apply a different shader. There. So that's what I wanted. So now all this area here is cleared out. And then when I select it, you can see it's all hollowed out. And that gives me the opportunity to put in an awesome piece like this. I'll just duplicate it and move it for the sake of showing it off. But you can see, like, I can put in some paint in some grass and stuff and all sorts of other cool things in the water. I can have some blurry grass in there. So yeah, I won't mess with that now, but the fact that I was able to delete it is just, that's what I've been needing. So save that scene and go back to the demo map. I have to pee real quick. Dang it. I keep pushing Control Z. That fucks my entire selection up I just made. Whoa. It's something weird. Alright, third time's a charm. I'm gonna delete it. Oh my goodness. Exit the tool. Tool's getting funky. B3. Now somehow it started using like Unity tools. And made it act very strangely. I'm not going to edit the beach pieces because I'm not 100% sure this is the actual shape I want. I think I want to make like a big bay, kind of follow how I had done beaches on the other scene. So it's kind of got like a big nice arch to it. And so I don't want to go in and start deleting faces before I know exactly what I'm going to do. I can delete them for this one. Because it's kind of a nothing piece. Cool, bit by bit, starting to look like something. Gonna paint in some pathways. really rough. Blue plus red is this. Yep, it's vertex painting. It's magic. Using height maps to get the grass to kind of grow in a way. See the blades. Yeah, you can see when I hold the button here, it shows the polys. It's not that many, like it's like 32 by 32. It's actually not that high res. But basically, if I press C, you can see the colors I'm painting. So this is essentially what vertex coloring is you color the vertices a certain color, and then your shader over here, depending on what colors are being painted, it will instead reflect a texture instead of a color. And then you can have them blend together with height maps. So that's how you can get bricks to look kind of cool. Like here, it looks like the dirt's kind of growing into the bricks, or like the bricks are growing out of the dirt, and then the grass is growing through the cracks of the brick. It's kind of muddled out right now because I have the sketch over the top of it that I'm using as a frame of reference. But yeah, not too complex. You can, it's the part of the whole like 80-20 rule where you can get like 80% of the work done very quickly, but then to get that like really nice polished last 20% takes a long time. So right now I'm just kind of blocking the shapes in of where I want the grass, where I want the pathways. That's cool. The trees are just flat sprites. They're just little cutouts. Relaunch Unity. I think I might be ending the stream pretty soon though. Been going on for a while, and I'm getting hungry. Well, it's starting to resemble my other ramp a little bit. Again, like, has a lot of polish that needs to be done, but, you know, I'm just kind of blocking in the shapes.